Коллеги, всем привет! С вами
Hello, dear colleagues.
Media для
Kira
инвесторов
Yukton,
Invest
the
Future.
founder of Media for Private Investors Invest Future. And right now I'm going to speak with Yuri Marinichev, Director on Investor Relations from Positive Technologies. And we're going to speak about how Positive Technologies makes their own revolution in communications with investors. Hello.
Очень рада
Hello, Kira.
связи.
I'm really glad to talk to you and would like to begin by the following question. Yuri, Positive Technologies is the first Russian public company from cybersecurity segment, and this is a revolution because you communicate
Которые всегда были очень
you talk about things which were very specific, very target oriented. You've been speaking to wide audiences. You make it bright, modern, and accessible. And I really like the way how you build your communication strategy. So tell me, please, from your side, how you do that. What do you follow?
общий язык с инвесторами.
How do you find this common language with investors, and how do you become interesting to them? Yes, Kira, we have an interesting story of our presence on the stock exchange. We are young emission company and not many people knew about us as investors because our products are oriented at large corporate clients. That's why. Many people have learned about our company when we became first public company in the sector of cybersecurity. It was 17th of December. Right now, we almost 6 months, 5 months on the stock exchange, and we started entering different selections, different ratings, selections of the fastest growing rates, the ratings of dividend shares, and allows to wider share of evidence to learn about us. But not only this, we want to convey information about our company, not only from the point of view of finances, but also from the point of view of how our products working, what our business does, how do we develop our technology of fighting with hackers, how do we help to keep sustainability of the business state, and in the end run we defend not only large corporate companies and the state, but also the data, well-being, money, and users and physical entities. And this is something that we speak about with our investors. We tell them how our business works so that they would understand which company they invest into and how this company is going to grow in the future.
Ощущением стало
And what, according to your opinion, is it easier to build communications after our life have changed significantly in February? Because according to my feelings, positive technologies became very important in this situation. When colleagues have been discussing previously, from one side, we see that positive technologies is an import substitution company. On the other side, this is a good perspective of development. This is the dividend growth share. And it seems that you became one of the beneficiaries of this situation. How was it reflected on communications? Well, honestly speaking, all the factors that you have listed, they work in our direction for our benefit. And we see these because our investors, they have burning eyes. And when they came to our standoff party, when they've looked at the replica of the city with all the infrastructure of our cyber range, when you can look at the infrastructural facilities which are defended by our white hackers, which are being attacked by our hacker team, which is located under the red color, the red team. So these are real risks which are posing threats to the city, to companies, and to each one of us. And when we show to our investors this technology of work, how our company works and what it defends from, they understand it. But this is one of the elements how we work with investors. Truthfully, our work is built in a wide spectrum of channels, and we're trying to be maximally open and transparent. And our investors, they value this, and they see that demand coming from our investors, active and potential ones, is very high. We provide information in a wide sense of channels. We constantly have online meetings, and we tell people about our company. Communications have not changed since the very beginning. We've been trying to be a maximally transparent company. And right now, we'd like to add the following. What has changed right now? In principle, on the market, many companies became and started using the benefits from the legislation. They reduced the amounts of open information. They hide some financial reporting, but we, vice versa, we make our activities more transparent so that people would understand our financials and growth drivers and how our business is going to develop in the future. So we are saying that we're not going to limit disclosure of the information. The main driver for us is this. And the current event, the Investor Day for Positive Hack Days, allows our investors, for the first time after our placement in the market, come to us and see obviously with their own eyes how our team works, what do we protect them from, and which risks could be carried by hackers for each one of us.
большое. Ты как раз
Thank you very much. You just preceded my question. Do you plan to use this trend that we see on the stock exchange? And this is wonderful that you stay open. I have another question.
Как команде
What do you think? How your team thinks about how usual retail investor really understands what your company does? Positive Technologies. Maybe you have some additional plans to become even more understandable for the person who has no knowledge about IT and has no expertise, and maybe he didn't play any video games, but maybe he just heard that there's a cybersecurity and it's promising. Well, our first investors or people who believed in our business, believed in our company, were people who have experience in IT and informational security, because for them, this business and this direction is understandable and has practical application in their life and in their work. Our main objective since the very beginning was to convey the information to a wider circle of investors. We are using different forms of conveying this information, starting from sharing in our channels cybersecurity news. We tell people about which facilities were attacked by hackers, how it was reflected in lives of regular citizens. We tell them how our competitors work. We tell them about which support measures are applied by the state to our industry. And we do see that this multifaceted approach to cybersecurity news allows us to show more full information. What are we going to do in the future? In the future, we will make more open communications about our products. We know that in our portfolio we have 15 products and more, even more solutions, but honestly speaking, our products are oriented for large clients, and that's why these products are not really accessible and not understandable by our private clients and private investors. That's why we are going to speak about them more openly and open examples, and the first step in this direction will be the fact that we have placed on our site for investors, groupptsecurity.com, our first public annual report. And in this report, we've been openly speaking in a common language about our products, about our businesses, about how do we work and how did we build the cybersecurity system and system of protection of the IT control of the company. And we do hope that this report will be the first step in this direction. Our investors will be able to learn about it in all communication channels. And I hope that in the future, we will be able to make this practice constant and continuous. And I believe that this report will be highly demanded by our investors and possibly will become one of the best annual reports this year. Well, this is a great approach, and thank you very much. I have another question. Do you have an opportunity to speak more about large clients? Of course, it's understandable that you are bound by certain limitations which are available in your client agreements, but do have an option of developing this, because this would make you even more understandable for a wide audience. Who uses your products? Why do they use this product, etc.? Yes, of course, Kir. I do agree with you that this case study is the most interesting one and the most viable for the perception of the wide audience. Well, basically speaking about our client base, our clients, even before the events of the previous year, were 80% of the largest companies of Russia, which are amongst the expert 400 companies. And right now we see that this is 90% of those companies. So if you will call any big company in the Russian market, most likely you will not make an error. This will be our client. That's why. More than 2,000 clients, you mean? Yes. Things that we've been looking at the results of this year. We had 2,300 clients. Right now, we're having more of those because demand for our services is growing. We're attracting new clients. Our sales team and the team which implements products on the side of the clients has seriously grown. We hire new employees, sales and professionals in the area of informational security for the development of our products because the demand is very high. And our main objective is to satisfy it so that our business would grow in the interests of our shareholders.
Здорово, спасибо.
Wonderful, thank you very much. Perhaps I would like to ask you about what do you think, at whose account the shareholding base is going to grow? From the point of view of your shareholding base? Well, honestly, our shareholding base is growing with high rates, and we've been coming to the stock exchange by direct listing when our first shareholders were those people who received shares as the remuneration. These are all employees of the company that worked in the company until before the 1st November of the last year, plus 200 people who don't work in the company, but they have introduced their input in the development of our business, our products and technologies. After this, we were able to see that in 10 days of trade sessions at the Moscow Stock Exchange until the end of December, our new investors were 10,000 shareholders. Also, in 1 month, it was 20,000. Right now, there are more than 45,000 people, and 99.9% of them are private people. We all know that retail investors and private entities, right now, this is the main force of the growth of our stock exchange. And we have been looking at them, that this will be our key shareholding base. And this is what happened. We became more understandable to our retail clients, of retail investors, and we are going to move in this direction as well. And we will attract wider audiences of investors. Today, we are going to conduct Investor Day at 6:30 p.m. We are going to tell about our ambitious plans to attract shareholders. But I will immediately tell you that those goals that we had ahead of us, for example, 100,000 shareholders this year, they don't look such unbelievable. They are even lower than we hope, because demand for our services and for our shares as a company which is located in the top of the wave is very high. But undoubtedly, we're not saying that we'll limit ourselves just private investors. Of course, we will attract to our capital big funds as well. We do understand that availability of big funds in our shareholders is also a good quality side. It's understandable that right now we are not speaking about attracting foreign investors, but big Russian investors are interested in our company. And please believe us, we do work in this direction. And honestly speaking, we are interested so that our shares would be interesting to retail investors and large institutional investors who can make them even more interesting, traded and liquid.
Юрий, спасибо большое. Ну и
Yuri, thank you very much. And finally, I would like to ask you another question.
планируете
How do you plan to involve shareholders in the life of the company? Which events you
на ближайшее
have for the nearest future? Well, this is a key event for our investors. 5 months we've been on the stock exchange. Our investors, for the first time, those who own the shares of the company, were able to come and feel the power and necessity of cybersecurity. Then in future, we'll conduct a number of those events in the format of offline. We're going to speak online and offline about our company, about the business indicators, and about how our products work, how we develop in the future. We conduct launches of new products, and we will inform our investors in this direction. We will tell about this in very simple language, and of course we will continue working on our platform, and we've been telling about this platform in the application. We actively work on this application. We are moving a little bit behind our schedule that we have defined before coming to the stock exchange, but please believe us, we will make this application pretty cool. We will make it more interesting, and it's going to be the platform with the help of which our investors will be able not only to learn about the information about the emittents, but also participate in the voting. They will participate in the life of the company. They will develop our products and solutions, and will make any IT solutions with our own hands. And possibly as a remuneration, they will get shares of our company. I think it's going to be a very interesting story. And once again, we're going to be the first ones in such interesting format of working with shareholders on our market. Yuri, this is wonderful, and I would like to wish you success. You do a great job from the point of view of communications with investors. It's very interesting to follow you, and you are one of those pioneers on the Russian stock exchange market. So I wish you only success. Thank you very much, Kira. I was happy to communicate with you. I will be happy to see you personally at our events. Thank you very much. Thank you.